All right. Welcome back to Eyes Open Media, second video of the day. And the reason why I'm doing another video is because Eric John sent me this article, and it basically confirms that there is a holdup on purpose for Western Mosul. Okay, so I did tell you guys yesterday in the report actually that a body was meeting with the Iraqi commanders and the PMU last night in a late night meeting in Baghdad. Okay, so they had a late night meeting in Baghdad, and a lot of people didn't know that, and we got the intel. I did do the report extra about it, and and this is some of the stuff that happened in that meeting. Okay, so let's take a look at it. I'm not sure who this person is. LipodECA. I'm not gonna pronounce the name because I don't know how to. Okay, I'm not gonna butcher the name, but it says that the international will stressful on the government to delay the release of Mosul. Now, of course, that is a translation error. Okay, it should be international or international status is will be stressful on the Iraqi government. So because of that, they are delaying the release of Mosul. That's what the translation should say. Okay, but it says international will stressful on the government to delay the release of Mosul. A wish, and then it says a wish on there. Okay, so that's what we've been saying. Okay, they got Eastern Mosul. They raised the biggest flag in Iraq history. Once they got it, I think it was January 2020. Let me go to the calendar real quick. Hold on one second, everybody. What date was that? It was January 25th on a Wednesday. I even stated maybe about a week or two beforehand that we were going to see them liberate Mosul, Eastern Mosul, going in from Thursday night into Wednesday morning will be the official time. Now, of course, we have the ministers who came out on that Sunday night, early Monday morning, saying that Mosul, Eastern Mosul, was liberated, but they jumped the gun because, of course, the commanders have to say it, and then the commanders gave, and also a body gave the full word on the exact time I said they were going to give it, which was Tuesday night into early Wednesday morning, and that's exactly what happened. So we got that perfectly correct, and that's because we have great teams and intel, right? But then hold up here, Western Mosul, we still haven't received it. We still haven't even started. Basically, we've only hit a little small inch of Western Mosul. And remember, I even showed you the map and said I got a good feeling they're gonna start in the north, right? Remember, I was telling you that, and that I even said, look, we don't want them just to begin in the north. We want them to begin all over, right? And because if they start all over, it's going to go very quickly, okay? And then they're gonna have no choice but to re-enter the international world. And I even told you guys that going back into the international world is not an easy thing. Okay, especially for people that have been stealing money from their country and from their own people for years. Okay, so going back into the international world, this is something that is almost, and it's like making the NFL to them. It's almost impossible, right? And so this is their mindset has to be in it, or they're going to fail. Okay, and then maybe this is one of the reasons why the Lord gave us the prophecy that Iraq's only going to be prosperous for a very short time, because they're not going to be able to have the mindset to stay in the international world. It doesn't matter how much oil they have, and it doesn't matter how much money comes into the country. If the government doesn't have the mindset of an international world and they want to go back to their old wicked ways, then that's what's going to happen. Okay, and And we know that they're going to be taken over by an invasion of Iran, and we know that's coming in the future. And they still to this day cannot remove Iran from their country. Even the president Fu Masum is telling Donald Trump that Iran is going to stay an influence in Iraq. Now that is just straight stupidity. But they can't remove themselves from Iran for some reason. They have too much. Maybe Iran has given them money, they have a lot of bribes. And that's what happens when you go into politics. You get bribed, a lot of dirty money, and you can't remove yourself from corruption. Okay, so that's gonna be their downfall. We already know it. Okay, but until then, yeah. So last night they had a meeting with the security and defense committees and members with a body in Baghdad, and they talked about the popular crowd, the management, the Mosul. They talked about all of it, and they talked about why Western Mosul has not started yet, and it's been almost a month of basically vacation time for the troops, just sitting around doing nothing. As you guys saw the pictures on the main channel, we the troops are there. um Donald Trump is sending a 45,000 plus more troops to Western Mosul, and that's not really for the war. It's really for post war, post Mosul era, post liberation, post back into the international world, post national reconciliation, herbal agreement. Okay, so that's why he's sending those troops there. They're going to protect Iraq post liberation of all, and post returning to the international stage. Okay, here's the thing from a body. Here's the thing for the ministers and the commanders and everybody that's trying to delay Western Mosul. You're in big trouble because Obama's not in office. Barack Hussein Obama, your peoples, with that type of name, he's not in office. Okay, his administration that wanted a new world order is not in office. Okay, Donald Trump is in office. Mad Dog Mattis is in office. So they need to realize this, and they need to understand that them delaying is only going to hurt them in the long run, because at some point Donald Trump and Mad Dog Mathis is going to put their foot down, and they're going to put their foot over a body's neck, and they're going to demand things to happen immediately. And so that's something they shouldn't want to happen, right? That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing, especially to be the prime minister of your own country, and you're delaying stuff. You're part of this delay tactic, and not just the delay. It's because of the delay. Maliki and his people, as I mentioned in the report today, when you guys check that out, you'll hear Maliki and his people are having time to plan bombings in the country. And so because of the delay of Western Mosul, we've seen marathons, international marathons in Baghdad. Then we saw some bombings right after. And then we saw a demonstration from Sauder, two demonstrations from Sauder, bombings during and after, bombs being dropped on citizens at the demonstrations. I mean, so you're giving the enemy that is within the Iraqi government time to bring things together and then create chaos to keep the stability and security from ever coming to pass. That's what they want. They want to create the chaos to do that. So when you delay Western Mosul, as they have done on purpose, as we can see here from this meeting, and one of the guys leaked it out that they're saying that there's no date set for Western Mosul. Okay, if you read down here, you can see it says, as regards the date of the liberation of right coast of Western Mosul, operations confirmed by the member of the Parliamentary Commissions on Security and Defense, that there is no date set for the launch of Western Mosul. No date set at all. So they've been lying to us, right? About Western Mosul. There is no date set. They want to push this thing as far as possible back because, they don't want to come back into the international world. point blank. They've been forced to by the IMF, the World Bank, United Nations, and the international world to come back into the global market, but they don't want to. And I've been saying this for so long. The reason why Iraq's not back on the international stage is because they don't want to. Okay. All right, so that's why. This is why we have to we're babysitting, basically we're babysitting this country, step by step to get things done. They've been pushing back because they don't want to return to the international stage. Okay. It's sad what's going on. It's terrible what's going on, and it's embarrassing. It's very, very embarrassing, and it makes people look bad. But yeah, so they did reveal last night that they have no plans on liberating Western Mosul. No date set, no plans. They've been just they have the troops set out there, and they don't plan on having anything done. They gave us the north part of Western Mosul at Sinjar and Telahar just so they could make it look like there's something going on in Western Mosul. They're doing the air raids, which aren't doing really much but killing innocent people. And that's it. They don't want to fully invade into Western Mosul unless they're pushed by Donald Trump and Mad Dog Mathis. Okay, because didn't they just say a week ago that they were a few days away? Then all of a sudden, it could be March, it could be April until we launch Western Mosul. You mean Western Mosul that's right next to Eastern Mosul? Like it takes you a month to invade a small area of Iraq. Like what's going on here? So light bulbs just went off in everybody's minds that okay, this is for political reasons, because they know what they're going to have to do. They know what's coming when Western Mosul is given. They already know it. They've already put the e-dinars in there, electronic banking. They've already got into an international standard banking reforms. They've already done everything. They've gotten most of the important laws done. They've gotten the CBI is not posting the program rate any longer. They haven't updated the indicative rate. They know what's coming when they give us Western Mosul, and some of these people are terrified that they have to return to the international world because a lot of these people were not in power when Iraq was basically part of the international world. Okay, with Saddam Hussein and stuff. Doing without basically they were in the international world with no restrictions, right? They weren't really a global country that everybody was looking towards, but they were international, meaning no restrictions of any kind, and they were able to sell the oil and do things with Saddam, right? So a lot of these people weren't in power at that time, so they don't know what to do and they're scared. That's point blank and simple. They're scared, and they shouldn't be scared because we have a million troops inside of Iraq, inside and out of Iraq. Their security it should have no problems unless it's inside people like Maliki that is doing stuff. Then you have to get rid of the people like him, or you're going to continue to have bombings because the bombings aren't coming from outsiders. It's coming from inside the government. Okay, people that are funding terrorism. Okay, and funding destruction because they don't want an international Iraq back on the international stage because they will be dealt with by the international world. Okay, for treason, genocide, and all types of craziness that they have done to their people. And of course we saw leaks coming out of that from about Maliki, and everybody now is against Maliki. So Maliki says, you know what, screw you, I'm going to start bombing the whole country, and that might keep me alive, and that might keep me in position to take over the government at some point in the future. If I continue to just bomb everything inside of Baghdad and inside the Green Zone and everywhere else, you know what I mean? So continue the chaos so you'll never have that stability and security. So at some point, they need to either take Maliki out or get us Western Mosul and return to the international stage and then take care of Maliki. Either one is, you can't keep the poison inside the system or it's going to rot you out. And as we can see here, thanks to Eric John, they have no plans on invading Western Mosul with troops. They have no date set. They have no plans on it. and this is embarrassing. This is embarrassing because they have to. All the troops are there. Everybody went that way, and the GOI have and the commanders have no plans on the invading Western Mosul. Okay, so it's going to take Donald Trump and Mad Dog Mattis. Right, eyes open.